So many beautiful souls I know have such enormous, generous, compassionate hearts that they have a hard time setting boundaries because they so deeply and completely understand the broken nature of the person that they're interacting with. Have you ever found yourself in that place where you're like, okay, this person's being awful to me, but I understand maybe they're coming from a broken place, or maybe they've been through a lot, and because your heart is so huge and so open, you actually blur those boundaries of respectful behavior because you have a hard time saying no, or you don't want to hurt them, you don't want to disappoint them. When the moon has been in Pisces, especially for the full moon lunar eclipse we had yesterday, we have so much empathy towards other people that we forget to extend that same empathy towards ourselves. Boundaries allow me to love other people and myself equally. And if our boundaries only hold space for loving other people, but don't show that same love for ourselves, that's often the point at which we go, hey, wait a minute, something needs to shift. And the eclipses are always times of huge, drastic shifts, as if something clicks, where maybe we didn't understand it before, but all of a sudden it all makes sense. Now, the big change happening today is that the moon moves into Aries. And when the moon is in Aries, it's like a tiger mama. There's an energy of protection. There's an energy for fighting for the people that you love, fighting for what's right or just. And so here we might see this transition between empathy for other people and all of a sudden the desire to protect ourselves. So this energetic shift today is actually amplified by an opposition between Saturn and Mercury. Now, Mercury is in Virgo right now. It's considered to be at home. There's an energy of caution and attention to details. And when it forms an opposition to Saturn in Pisces is kind of that heavy acceptance or understanding of our own mortality. It is a very heavy, dense planet in a place that should be for spiritual ideals. And so this heavy, serious energy that we are collectively experiencing right now is kind of pulling us in between what we know to be true in our hearts or our logic's difficult time of understanding or connecting the dots, right? So much of what we understand or feel or desire goes beyond our physical reality. And then how do we make up the difference? How do we connect these two seemingly opposite influences, right? So today with the moon in Aries, you may feel compelled to take action. You may be having one of those like, okay, that was the last straw kind of moments. Whatever sort of awakening, awareness, breakthrough, or completion of understanding you achieved or were offered on or around the full moon lunar eclipse, now is time for action. Now is time to say, okay, I have gathered enough evidence. I have gotten enough signs, enough omens, enough indications from the universe, from the life around me, that I can make an educated, qualified decision to really walk my highest path and honestly look after my best interests, to make sure that the boundaries that I set and enforce allow me to stay soft. Allow me to live my life without feeling like somebody is sucking my energy or my resources out of me, right? And especially when we're such kind, compassionate people, we have a hard time setting those boundaries. The other part of it is that sometimes we're just not clear enough with our communication. Now, the Seven of Swords brings up the question of divinity and honor in our communication. And what we see is somebody walking away with swords. They're carrying 5 and leaving 2 behind. There are a lot of different ways of interpreting this card, but right here, right now, the indication is being as clear as possible with our communication. Sometimes culturally, it's not really acceptable to be super, super direct. In different countries, in different areas of the world, some people are much more upfront, and some people will definitely not confront you about what's going on. So when we feel like we either aren't receiving, or maybe we feel like we don't have the ability to be fully clear with our communication, that's when we end up really confused and we're not sure if we're coming or going. See, this person is looking this way, but walking this way. We lose direction, we lose certainty, we lose connection when communication isn't clear. So if you find that people are continually crossing your boundaries, maybe ask yourself, what am I doing to enforce them? Am I being clear enough in telling people, hey, no, this is a boundary? Or am I saying, oh, it's fine, and hoping that people will eventually get the message? You know, sometimes if we are not completely bluntly honest, people really aren't going to get it. So it is time to reflect on what sort of action can I take to help myself feel as though my boundaries are being respected. I'm Erin, I'm Queen Bee Tarot. I've got full-length detailed horoscopes on my YouTube channel, as well as psychic development videos. And if you ever wanted to learn tarot, you can visit my website at www.queenbeetarot.net. You can be anywhere around the world, and I can teach you how to read for yourself. I hope you guys have an amazing day, and I will see you tomorrow.